Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to check the video out. Always much appreciated. Today I'm going to give you guys what, in my opinion, are the two best wintertime cold water jerkbait colors that you can throw if you just had two to throw. I mean, we've talked about colors a lot before on the channel. I went into it in detail. I'll continue going into detail because there's so many color variations in jerkbaits, but I'm going to make it simple for you guys that don't want to go out there and buy 50 colors. I'm going to show you guys what are the best two wintertime colors that produce under a wide range of conditions. We'll get into that, but man, just been really busy around here, getting ready to leave early tomorrow morning for the first Bassmaster Open down at Lake Kissimmee in Florida. And man, if you guys remember, I had some girl ran into my truck while it was parked about a month ago, and I took it into the shop 3 weeks ago, and they've been waiting on the parts to fix it because they're back ordered, and they just informed me yesterday that it's going to be another 3 weeks. So they gave me a rental truck to take down there. So I've got this little half-ton rental truck with just an open pickup bed on it. So it's been a challenge packing for this trip because the family's going with me on this trip. They usually go to one tournament a year, and they picked the Florida tournament to go to this year. So man, we're in the middle of trying to get everything ready to roll, Matt. Wanted to get today's video out. Okay, let's talk a little bit about these colors on the jerkbaits here. If you guys watched the videos before, you know I go into a lot of different color considerations based upon water clarity, wind, the type of species, just a lot of different variables that determine water clarity. I mean, to determine the color you want to choose on a jerkbait. And like I said, I've always considered the jerkbait, the color being the number one element to it behind cadence and retrieve that generates a strike. That's why I like Megabass has got over 150 colors. But I'm going to show you my two favorite cold water colors, explain to you why and when I like to use them. And if you guys are interested in any of these, Baitworks just got a giant shipment of Megabass jerkbaits in. I'll include the link in the description. If you use that link, it's a good way to support the channel here. And man, they have got a ton of Megabass jerkbaits to choose from there. Okay, let's get into this a little bit. Here's the two colors, guys, and I'm going to explain to you when to use them and why. My two favorite is the Table Rock Shad and the Matte Shad. These two colors here, I know you can sort of see it in the sunlight a little bit there. I know it's bright sun there, but I'm going to explain to you why I like both of them. First of all, let's talk about the Table Rock Shad. I know that sun is super bright on there. If you can see that, yeah, there's a little bit better picture on there. You got sort of a faded pearl side, purple back, a little bit of chartreuse in it, leading to that belly right there. Now the Table Rock Shad, this is something that has been around forever. This color right here, it was developed for Table Rock. I'm talking like 40 years ago. There were some guys that started tying this bait, or started custom painting the rogues. It worked really good down at Table Rock Lake, and traditionally the Table Rock Shad has a little bit brighter chartreuse on the side, but the Megabass version is a little bit more pale. It's a little bit more pearl looking, but it's still a fish catching son of a gun here. So anyway, the Table Rock Shad, guys, this is the color I like to use in the wintertime in the conditions if you have low light conditions or lots of wind. Say for example, it doesn't really matter the clarity either of the water. You can have, it's a good color in super clear water, and it's a good color in dirty water too, because it has the matte, the flat finish to it on there, which makes it good in dirty water. It sort of glows a little bit in the water. But the reason this thing is so good in low light conditions is the fact that the color on this particular thing causes this bait to glow in low light conditions. And these fish can see it from a long distance away, yet it's subtle enough to where it's not like obtrusive or overwhelming to the fish. It's just like it's got that perfect combination of a color that will attract a fish from a distance away, yet when they get close to studying it, it doesn't spook them on there. It's a really good, stable fish catching color. Just like on the crankbait, the blackback chartreuse side is one of the top colors that there's ever been in a crankbait, and it's the same with the Table Rock Shad, especially in the wintertime. So normally what I'll do is in the wintertime when the water temperature is under 50 degrees, I start out with the Table Rock Shad almost all the time when there's shade on the water. Say for example, you get out there a little bit after daylight and you're fishing some banks or points that the sun hasn't quite hit the water. This is a really good color under those early morning or late evening low light conditions. Also, if you have a day out there that has overcast, especially wind with that overcast, the table rock shad will produce all day long. And I don't care if the water clarity is 2 feet or if it's 20-foot visibility. It's an absolute killer. Another thing you'll find about the table rock shad is you get bigger bites on it. If you can get the fish to hit a table rock shad, I have found that on average, my bite, the weight of the bass go up like 1/4 to 1/2 pound per fish. I think a lot of it just has to do with a brighter color like a table rock shad here. It triggers those more aggressive fish. The table rock shad is a really good color when those fish are aggressive, and those fish are aggressive most of the time early and late in the day or under low light conditions. So it's an aggressive bass color in the wintertime. Now the next one is sort of opposite to that. This is the matte shad. This is a fairly new color. This is guys, I have ripped so many fish on this color the last 2 years. This is an awesome color in the wintertime to throw. The matte shad is a more subtle bait. You can see it's sort of a translucent side. It's very blends in. It looks a lot like a minnow. Yet with the matte finish on it, you still have that combination of glow and subtlety that blends into the water. So the matte shad is the color that I throw in the wintertime once that sun starts hitting the water. Say for example, like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, when you start getting some sunlight on those same banks that you're catching them on the table rock shad, that's when I pick up the matte shad. It's a little bit more subtle, and it'll catch those fish under brighter light conditions. Also, if you have those days that are sunny and bright with not much wind, you can catch a lot of fish on the matte shad in the wintertime. It's a really good cold water color. And another thing about this matte shad, and I don't know what it is about, guys, but I don't catch many fish on the matte shad unless the water's cold. If that water temperature is above, say, 52, 53 degrees, there's other colors that work better. But guys, when that water temperature bottoms out in the winter and gets cold into the 40s, you can't beat this matte shad. I'm telling you, it will catch them. It'll catch them in all different water clarities. I've caught them in 2.5 foot of visibility. I've caught them in 15 foot of visibility. And I like it, like I said, when you've got some sun, a little bit greater light penetration in the water. I haven't done that well on this bait under low light conditions or on the windy, cloudy, rainy type days. But it will catch fish under those tough conditions, because what happens is the matte finish glows enough in the water to pull those fish from a distance. Yet on those days it's real bright and the fish are a little bit more, hesitant and finicky, when they get close to this bait and they study it, it's translucent and natural looking enough that a lot of times you'll go ahead and generate that strike because it just looks more natural. It'll generate strikes under those conditions that you cannot generate a strike on a table rock shad. Say for example, if we were fishing today, table rock, it's partly cloudy, bull shoals, whatever, water visibility of 8 to 10 feet. And once it got up to like 10:30, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're not going to catch hardly nothing on this table rock shad, but you're going to rip them on the matte shad. Vice versa, if you throw the matte shad at 7:30 in the morning when the water's dark and the wind's blowing, probably won't catch much, but you'll catch them on the table rock shad. So there it is, guys. If you got 2 colors for the winter time, that's it. Table rock shad, matte shad. Check them out. I know Bait Works here in Springfield, Missouri has a ton of them. You can get them online. I'll include the link in the description, and I'll keep you guys updated at the tournament this week down at Kissimmee Toho. I know you guys are probably getting burnt out on me. I've been talking in the tackle room now for months because it's been cold. So we'll be doing a lot of videos down in Florida, doing a lot of them on the water, have a little bit of a change of pace as far as scenery of the videos. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We got a big drawing. Got a bunch of free stuff to give away next week when we hit 55,000 subscribers. So all you got to do is be subscribed to have a chance to win that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye.